First of all, welcome, and I want to thank the coalition for doing this. I guess I have to go back a little bit before this. This is a renewed effort to expand, as far as I'm concerned. That's why I'm really here. The birthday is wonderful and all that, but to me it's a renewed effort to expand the current law. And I want to back up a little bit. This is not a new issue. I became mayor of Somerville in 1990. This law passed in 93, if I remember correctly, obviously 20 years. Well, in 1991, we negotiated with 3 different unions. The FMLA, which represents most of the average workers in the city, the police department and the fire department, and we gave them a family medical leave provision without anything in return. We did it very simply because it was then, and it is now, the right thing to do. It's really unfortunate that we would need laws to do this. And I want to be clear, though this is certainly a woman's issue, it is not only a woman's issue. I didn't bear the children, but I was there when my wife gave birth. And for me, I have my son with me. This child spent 3 months in an intensive care unit. And for that entire time, my car automatically drove back and forth to Beth Israel. So did my wife. When my mother or my father passed away, it wasn't just a woman taking care of it, it was a man too. This is a human issue, of which women obviously bear the biggest brunt in today's society. But it's something that, honestly, I cannot imagine a valid, rational argument against it. And I want to thank those of you who continue the fight to make life just a little bit better, a little bit more humanistic in a day when all of us, every day, we get pulled in 1,000 different directions with Blackberries and emails, tweeting, and all that other nonsense that kind of, some ways, kind of dehumanizes us a little bit each and every day. This is about humanity. Wanting to spend some time with your loved ones who have a difficult situation in their own lives. We all go through it. It's not unique to any individual. It's not rich, it's not poor, it's not working, it's not unemployed. It's everybody. And to take one step forward to make life a little bit better for everyone, I think is a worthwhile goal. So I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to welcome, and I'm going to call her the speaker, though I know technically she's not, because not only was she the speaker, she will be the speaker again. I want to welcome her back to Boston as well. I can't tell you how much this woman has done for me, for this Commonwealth, and for America. She's been a great leader. I will tell you unequivocally, though I don't want to disrespect anybody else. Without Nancy Pelosi, there would have been no passed health care bill, period. Period. I've never seen anyone work so doggedly and so committedly to something so important and so difficult in my whole life. For that, she deserves our undying gratitude and support and recognition. And I want to thank her for being here today. I want to thank her for being a hero, not just on this issue, but so many issues that's so important to all of us. Thank you all for being here today.
It's an honor to be here with each and every one of you, a real symbol of how important this issue is by the strong participation of so many of the members of the official family of Massachusetts in the legislature, local government, you name it, even internationally, globally, Ambassador Hunt. I'm honored to be here with Michael Capuano, who is a very valued leader in the House of Representatives. And I knew before I came here how proud I would to be with him for all of those reasons, but also because, as he mentioned, he took the lead long ago, before it was required as a law of the land to have family medical leave as mayor of the city of Somerville. So thank you for your leadership in that regard. And he was a leader in terms of flex time, job sharing, all of those issues. The list goes on and on. So he fits very comfortably in terms of his leadership in a state that has been a pioneer state on all of these issues that are about women in the workplace, but families in the workplace. Isn't this a beautiful fairness for women, progress for families? There's a direct connection. There is a direct connection. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your work with the coalition and your work with the Greater Boston Legal Services, and all of this comes together. Here we are toward the end of the month of March. March is Women's History Month. It also happens to be a time year when we are celebrating, observing the 20th anniversary of the passage of the Family Medical Leave Act. That would be 20 years, 4-year anniversary of the passage of Lilly Ledbetter Act, a time when our president has committed to paycheck fairness, and we had leadership in the House, Rosa DeLauro, on that score. It was almost 100 years ago, it was 100 years ago, a little more now, because it was the beginning of March, that women marched, there was a march in Washington for suffrage, for the right of women to vote. When women got the right to vote, some years later, a few years later, the headlines were, "Women given the right to vote." Now, you know that wasn't so. Women fought for that right to vote. Women gained support for it, and that's why it happened, not because anybody gave it to them. But that's the way it is with legislation to make change, to empower people. And over the course of that time, I mentioned a couple of the bills, the family medical leave being one that we celebrate today. When it passed, President Clinton, he said something beautiful. He said, "A matter of common sense, pure common sense, and a matter of common decency, it will provide Americans what they need most, peace of mind." We had been passing that bill in the Congress a number of times, but we didn't have a presidential signature. So that's why this is 20 years since the inauguration of President Clinton in 1993. And we passed it, had it ready for him. We've been waiting for a signature. And he signed the bill and implemented the bill, and it's a source of great pride to him as a great priority for his administration. But we want it to be paid. And once again, Massachusetts, it's in the lead. Thank you for your leadership for paid medical leave. All the things that have happened over time, I'd have to review the history. 100 years ago, the March, 8 or so years after that, the women got the right to vote. World War II, women in the workplace, helping with the war effort. After that, the higher education of women. Then women again in the professions and the rest, but there were some blanks that were not filled, and one of them was affordable quality child care for America's children so families can make progress with fairness for women, and also issues that relate to medical leave, it being paid. Rosa DeLauro, once again, working with Tom Harkin in the Senate, as the sponsor of a Healthy Families Act, which is about paid medical leave. You can accrue 30 hours of leave, 56 hours of paid leave for every 30 hours that 1 hour for every 30 hours that you work. You have something better than that, I think, in Massachusetts that you're working for. But it's all important, and as Mr. Capuano said, it's not just about women, it's about families. Many men take advantage of the Family Medical Leave Act. Many men need paid sick leave because it's about families. It's about families. So what I see before me today is so encouraging. And as I go around the country and we have these birthday parties for the Family Medical Leave Act, and I see the enthusiasm for issues that are related to it, including the Affordable Care Act. On Saturday, 2 days ago, we observed with Vice President Biden the 3-year anniversary of the passage of the Affordable Care Act. In that legislation, there are provisions that now determine that being a woman is no longer a pre-existing medical condition. Transformational in terms of what it does to eliminate lifetime limits on care and no discrimination on the basis of pre-existing medical conditions, how it's lowering the cost of health care, the increased rate of health cost, many provisions that are very, very valuable. But it is about honoring all of these. All the bills that we're talking about here are about honoring the vows of our founders to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A healthier life, the liberty to pursue your happiness and that of your families because you're no longer job locked because of a pre-existing condition in your family, no longer constrained because you don't have family and medical leave or paid family and medical leave. So that paid part is really, really important. It's really important. So as we observe and celebrate what happened 20 years ago, it's all with the determination to go forward to do more. Now, Elizabeth said at the start, our purpose is really to hear from you, and we'll be moving around and hearing what you have to say. But what I have to say to you is thank you. Thank you for sending us Michael Capuano to the Congress, bringing already his experience, his courage to get a job done even before it had all of the national visibility and requirement. Thank you to the Massachusetts Coalition on paid leave for the leadership you are providing, because this will have a drumbeat effect across our country. It's no coincidence that San Francisco and Massachusetts area have been in the lead on these issues. We've had some great leadership on whether it's housing issues that Michael has taken the lead on, and Barney Frank and others, because of the nature of our communities and the value we place on the middle class and success in the economy for our families. The President Obama, in his inaugural address, he said this. He said, "Our journey is not complete until our wives, our mothers, and our daughters can earn a living equal to their efforts." He's right, and even as we celebrate the past achievements, we can't be satisfied until we have pay equity as the norm, the Paycheck Fairness Act is the law, and that we raise the minimum wage to make it a living wage until we meet the need for Affordable Care Act, until we have paid sick leave. I want to thank you, Jennifer, for your courage to come and share your story with us. It's a beautiful one, a successful young professional mom. Really, as you were speaking, being a mom myself of 5 and grandmother of 9, I was thinking of those 9 weeks that you were at home and the important bonding. Important bonding, you can't quantify it. You can't put a date, a price tag or anything on the important bonding that happens between mother and child, and parents, and a new child at that important time, a newborn baby, something so fabulous and so wonderful. So fortunately for you, you had an enlightened employer. We want to make sure that every family has that opportunity, and when we have that progress for women, we will have progress for families. So again, thank you all for what you have done in your roles as legislators, as mayors, as community activists. What a wonderful thing, community organizers, as members of unions and members of the private sector and our business and the business community. I really do think that this will be transformative. This will be transformative for the American people because it is a sign of respect that families are important. It's a sign of recognition that the great middle class is the backbone of our democracy. So all of these initiatives that honor the vows of our founders for what they creatively thought about what this country could be, well, you are carrying on that work, and we're all very grateful to you for it. So thank you for the honor of allowing me to be part of this birthday celebration for the family of medical leave, and I look forward to hearing your views. Thank you all very much.